Hey everybody, thanks for watching. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button for me if you don't mind. And this is going to be a video in a series of videos I plan on doing, just comparing Starfield to other games to give us an idea for what we can expect, and breaking down the details we know so far so we can get a good idea of what kind of game Starfield's going to be. So the first video I want to do on this topic is ship customization. In the Xbox Bethesda showcase, this year's E3, Todd discussed ship customization and compared it something to FTL. So I have played FTL. I forgot about it, but I decided to boot it back up and play around with it and see what he could have been possibly talking about. And if you're not familiar, you can see it on the screen now. FTL's like a pretty roguelike space adventure game, and so in FTL each room has its own system that it controls. So like your weapon systems, your shields, door control, scanner, etc. Every room has a purpose that it serves on your ship, and then those rooms need power diverted to them, and they also need crew to man them, and then the crew can repair them. And I think you can kind of see in the Starfield video at the top left corner there, it does look like there are going to be things that affect your ship based on the parts you put in. I think it was kind of a weak comparison because I don't really see any way it's really going to be like FTL. The one thing that it really does bring up is, will there be energy management on your ships? Because that's pretty much the biggest, gameplay mechanic when it comes to FTL, is just diverting energy from one system to another system as you need it. Divert energy away from your engines into your weapons when you're in the middle of a fight, and then vice versa. Take energy out of your med bay to channel to something else, and then put it back into your med bay if you have an injured crewmate, stuff like that. And it's interesting because I didn't anticipate Starfield having that kind of system when it comes to the ship. From what we've seen, the flying and everything seems very similar to like No Man's Sky or an Elite Dangerous, and it seemed like it would be a little hard to manage something like that in the middle of like a third-person style ship flying. So I'm curious to see how they do that. One thing I think is going to be really interesting to think about is if you can customize your ships and you're customizing like different parts of your ship, how is that going to affect, because it shows that you can actually walk through your ship. I'm not really sure how that's going to work, if it's like just a cinematic thing, or if it's like an actual thing you can do, or they're just kind of showing that off. How game companies do, showing off features and details and stuff like this that actually doesn't happen. For the first in detail breakdown is the cockpit. The cockpit we're shown affects the health, cargo, and crew slots available to the ship. So in the next part we get a engine, the White Dwarf 1000 engine, and it gives us a class. It's an A class. It has engine thrust, maneuvering thrust, engine health, and health. And it says every spaceship needs engines. Upgrade to increase speed and acceleration. Mass of the entire ship will affect performance. From that we can pretty much infer that every part's going to have its own weight, kind of similar to like armor is in a lot of these games like Fallout 4 and Skyrim. Heavier armor weighs you down, makes you move slower. That's going to affect the maneuverability of your ship. The more mass that your ship has, the slower it's going to be able to maneuver. The next part we see is pretty interesting. They're fuel tanks, and it describes them as the grav jump tanks of helium-3, which are used to perform a jump. This is similar to the warp hyperdrive in No Man's Sky. It seems like the larger capacity for fuel you have, the farther you can jump, similar to, No Man's Sky. You can get upgrades to make your hyperdrive more efficient, and then the more charged your hyperdrive is, the farther you can jump. Next, it shows us a brief glimpse at some lander gear, automatic landing gear. It doesn't show us much. I doubt this is going to be very customizable. The only real attribute it has is it increases health. So the next part, they go pretty fast through a bunch of different parts where I'm immediately proven wrong about the landing gear, and most of it is in fact landing gear and cockpits. And the cockpits, we do see different crew sizes on them, so that's really interesting. It seems like there's going to be a lot of variety to choose from, which is always good, and I think it looks pretty cool. Still a little curious how they're going to play out the whole walking through your ship after you've customized a thing, but I guess we'll find out. And with that, thanks for watching, and please like and subscribe. Stay tuned for more videos. I'm definitely planning on doing some more Starfield content. Thank you.